Very recently, a game called Scorn came out that featured many different horror elements, along with some grotesque imagery. And while I heard the game was disappointing to some, I did find that me personally, the body horror in the game was just absolutely amazing. So much so that it actually reminded me of a story featuring a much darker version of Iron Man. In this story, it would feature an Iron Man that would become fused to his armor like bubblegum, and over time would ultimately become a tub of flesh in an iron suit. The imagery alone is terrifying, with fluids oozing out in every nook and cranny of the suit, but it gets even worse with context to this Iron Man's frightful tale, as the story begins with a Tony Stark just starting his career as Iron Man, and everything is pretty much the same about his origin. However, one day while coming back to the lab to see Pepper, as she removes the armor while talking to Tony, one of the armor's gauntlets takes off all the skin from Tony's left arm, and upon seeing this, she would immediately put the gauntlet back on to find that Tony feels completely fine again, almost as if the suit is completely bonded with him. And after this would happen, Tony would just look back at everyone that was trying to help and say that it's just a small problem that he'll work out. And over time, he starts to slowly get each piece of the armor off of his body without a scratch, and only leaving the chest piece and gauntlet left. Along with this, Tony starts to break down, telling Pepper that he wants to help people, to save the little guy and be a hero, and that this suit he's been working on will help him achieve his dreams. This is also when Pepper starts to fall in love with Tony. But the next day would come, and something completely out of left field would happen, as everything would change when Jarvis and Pepper enter Tony's office to be welcomed by pure nightmare fuel, with Tony Stark back in the suit and juices coming out all over it. Pepper would run a diagnostic on the suit to find out that all of Tony's skin dissolved overnight, while telling Tony that he'll never be able to remove the suit now. But then she looks inside of his dead eyes for only a moment, just for him to say softly, "Why would I ever want to take the suit off?" And after this interaction, Tony would activate the isolation protocol and separate himself from everyone for some time. And only days later, he would open contact with his friends, and upon further diagnostics, they'd find that Tony has essentially become a large tub of flesh inside of the Iron Man suit. But Tony just brushes it off, thinking that it's fine that his body has become flubber, as he walks back to his work with juices oozing everywhere from his suit, while he just initiates another lockdown. Another several days would go by again, and Tony would have an epiphany, opening the doors to allow people to enter his lab, only for him to trap his security inside the lab with him and mend their own bodies to suits so they can be evolved like Tony, as he sees it in his warped, melted mind. But it wouldn't stop there, as the next day Tony would build more suits, sending them out into the city to take one person after the other, as Pepper can hear the screams echoing across the city like a horrifying chorus as she's locked away. And with Pepper witnessing this literal nightmare, she feels that her time is drawing near, as she feels the presence of the man she once loved utter one word: Pepper, as the monstrosity that was once a brilliant hero walks Pepper to her very own suit to be just like him, ending the story. I hope you all liked the video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.